Hey, welcome to the unit. I'm your new squad leader, Staff Sergeant Shockley. Where are you coming from? Oh, you're coming from Germany? Cool, that was my first PCS, too. I came here to Fort Carson in 2016 and did much the same as we're going to do with you. You're going to be a team leader now. You're my Charlie team leader. Welcome to First Squad. So, your new soldiers are going to be Specialist Shockley, no relation, and PFC Elmo. Let me know when you're all set, and we'll get you down and we'll introduce you to them. All right, so you've now PCS'd. You've in processed your new unit. You've been assigned to your platoon, met your squad leader, and now you're about to be assigned a team of your own. In the military police world, a team consists of the team leader, a driver, a gunner, and sometimes an assistant gunner or dismount if you have an odd number of people or internal problems within the platoon where, specialist so-and-so can't be around so-and-so. It may happen. So, what do you do? You've never been a team leader before. At your last unit, you pretty well felt like you knew what to do, and the sergeants trusted you to get the job done. Oh my God, what do I do now? So there's a couple routes, right? You're going to want to talk to, if you're a Charlie team leader, you're going to want to talk to the Bravo and Alpha team leaders because chances are they're corporals or sergeants and they've done this before or been doing it for a while and know what the squad leader and the platoon sergeant kind of expect, right? Use your resources. As a last resort, go to your squad leader, although as a team leader, you do have the ability to go talk to that staff sergeant directly. But let me tell you, even as a 4-year specialist, because personal choices, when I PCS'd and became a team leader, I didn't feel real comfortable going and talking to my squad leader unless he wanted to talk to me or summoned me, regardless of if that squad leader was an E5 or an E6, right? So use your resources. So chances are your call home is going to go something like, Mom, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know the first thing about leading soldiers. Well, sure you do. What did you do as a soldier? What did you like about your previous team leaders, squad leaders, so on? Use that as the basis. Chances are, if you're PCSing in from somewhere, you had a team leader before. And you had examples of what you consider good and bad to kind of form what you want to be as a team leader. You don't want to be a pushover or a sissy, but you also don't want to rule with an iron fist, right? You want to be able to be cool, friendly, nice guy, and you want to be soft until it's time to be steel, if that makes sense. So anyway, so chances are you became a specialist or a team leader one of two ways. You're a senior specialist who PCS'd in from somewhere, has some time in the Army, some time in service, and you're waiting to pick up points, go to NCOES, have shown potential, or you just got assigned a team out of necessity. Like, we're about to deploy, we don't have enough sergeants, we don't have any coming in. Hey, dipshit, you're a team leader now. Roger, Sergeant. Fuck, So... Or you're a sergeant or corporal, any other sort of NCO who's either been recently promoted or PCS'd in from somewhere else. Maybe you have some team time already. Maybe you're just rounding out your I don't remember if it's 18 or 24 months as a team leader for your key development track. Maybe you're just finishing that time, or maybe it's your third time being a team leader. You've already done your KD and you're just waiting to pick up a squad. Either way, chances are, like in the introduction, before PT, you're going to be told who your soldiers are, or be told at 09 work call who they are. So I'm going off a script here, so ignore the shifty eyes. Either way, I would suggest obtaining the counseling packets for these soldiers and rolling through this packet with their former team leader or squad leader, whether they're outgoing, someone who's dealt with these kids before, and so on. Even if it's a specialist that got fired for just being ass at the job. Talk with them. Chances are they have some observations. Go through the counseling. So there's a few different types of counselings. There's performance-oriented, which is like a monthly counseling. And then there's event-oriented, which is sometimes referred to as a negative counseling. It's not really a term. The Army has its own way of creating silly terms that don't actually exist but sound proper, such as using the word myself in a sentence or go ahead and knock out. Silly things like that, right? So anyway, a negative counseling doesn't actually exist. It's an event-oriented counseling. Anyway, kind of birdwalk there. So know what you're talking about. There is no such thing as a negative counseling. It's always room for growth. This will help you find out a baseline of what to expect with these soldiers. Is Specialist Shockley good at PT? Is he mediocre? Is he working at it? I was always mediocre and working to get better because I wrote that about myself because I was a pretty good example. I was great in some areas. I could run all day. If you pointed me in a direction and said go, I could literally run all day. I was good at the sit-ups. I was never really good at push-ups until my last few years in the Army. Is Specialist Shockley better at working the road, doing police duty, or is he more of a field rat and he excels at the combat side of things? Pretty 50-50. Is he a good driver, or is he liable to get you killed in a rollover? PFC Elmo, is she consistently late to PT because she's going on dates late at night or helping people in their barracks room or, stuff like that? Does PFC Elmo, is maybe she a single mom going through a divorce and is late because she has to go to childcare and is so worried about her child and taking care of the baby and all that she's not really worrying so much about the Army side of things. She's worried about maternal instinct. Who knows? It's all stuff you want to know. So eventually you're going to meet your soldiers. Most of my team leaders... My very first team leader ever met me at the company as soon as I got off the bus in Germany and said, "Hi, I'm Specialist so-and-so. I'm your new team leader." Cool, man. What does that mean? Shit. Okay, hold on. Let's go find your other teammate here and we'll kind of explain. This way I don't have to do it twice, whatever. So you're gonna meet your soldiers, kind of get to know them a little bit. I'd suggest taking them to lunch. It's an option. Having them over for a barbecue. Zach was always good about having us over. If you know who I'm talking about, leave it out of the comments. Let him rest in peace. And then work with your soldiers in the motor pool the following week. So chances are you're going to spend a lot of time around the company area, either cleaning stuff, cleaning weapons, training on tasks, or in the motor pool getting the line squared away. Because believe you me, parking things in a straight line is so important in the Army. You are not going to go home early or for the weekend until the line is perfectly straight. All the trucks need to be even with a particular crack in the sidewalk or something ridiculous, right? Just play the game. Those memes you've seen about mopping mud puddles. Yeah. Anyway, so don't be that NCO that makes people do that. Get to know your soldiers. Sorry, my phone battery kind of died there, or was about to. Get to know your soldiers. Teach them your standard for how you want the vehicle maintained, how you want things stowed. You should have a load plan for your platoon. Your driver is going to be in charge of maintaining that. Your gunner is going to be in charge of maintaining their gun cradle, traverse and elevation mechanism, and all that fancy warfighting horse shit. So once you've done your layout and you're now signed for all of your equipment, your truck, the basic issue items, and the COE, the components of end item for that vehicle, gun cradles, radios, all that stuff, your dagger, your 152, all that shit, you're going to be signed for about $1 million worth of stuff plus change. Figure out who's going to be maintaining what. If it pertains to the vehicle, make Specialist Shockley your driver sign for it. If it involves guns or killing things, give it to PFC Elmo. Now, I would also ask that you use a fair degree of intelligence. If PFC Elmo, who in this instance is female, is 4'11", or one of those 5'3" battle gnomes that can't see out of the goddamn turret without standing on stuff, and Specialist Shockley's damn near 6 foot tall, flip-flop them. Put Elmo's butt in the truck as your driver and Shockley on the gun, because if Elmo can't see to use the gun, there's no point in having her up there, right? She's either going to be sitting out of the turret and be a bullet magnet, or she's going to be standing on stuff, roll an ankle as she goes to traverse, and then just be screwed. Chances are, even sitting in the gunner's sling, the seat, chances are she's not going to be able to see out. Most of my gunners were those 5-foot battle gnomes when I was a driver. And they were always begging, like, Sergeant, can I drive? Can I drive? Like, I cannot see out of this goddamn gun. And the NCO just believed that, no, you can't. This is what platoon sergeant said we're doing. This is what we're doing. Use your brain, man. You may have been told to do something, but if it doesn't make sense, plead your case. Worst they're going to tell you is, hey, Sergeant, fuck off. Roger, Sergeant, cool. Thanks for your time. And then fuck off as instructed. So anyways, yeah, the signing the equipment over stuff, you should do that whether your soldiers are dirtbags or they're reliable. Allow them a chance to inventory the property that they're using. Don't sign stuff over that you know is missing pieces or whatever. Don't fuck them over as a chance to put yourself ahead. If you inventory stuff and it's missing, let your supply know so that they can order it. And then once it's complete, you sign it over to your team members at that point. Don't be an asshole. All of this doesn't need to be done on day one either. You can take some time and observe and be that kind of reserved, quiet NCO until you get to know them. I would recommend you at least get to know them a little bit and do a few hands-on Motor Pool Monday evolutions with them before you go to the field. That way you know you've taught them your standard and know what you expect. Kind of goes with the whole forewarned is forearmed thing. Now, bear in mind that they are going to be lawfully bound to follow your orders in most cases. That doesn't mean, specialist, go get my coffee, or private, go do this. They have to be legal and moral orders, right? I always told new NCOs when we got them, you can spend lives to get the job done, but you can't waste them. If you know what that's from, good for you. Chief Mendez, thanks for the good words. I always told them, spend the lives, don't waste them. So be responsible with what you direct them to do. Don't keep them around for hours on end if you don't need them. Any chance you get, you should be letting them loose to go spend time with their family or whatnot. You shouldn't keep them away for sake of keeping them at the company. And this kind of goes for leaders at all levels too. First sergeants, especially. If your platoon sergeants are coming to you and telling you, hey, first sergeant, the line's dressed, weapons are clean, tasks are complete, everyone's stuff has been laid out, all tasks are complete, it's 1400, can we get the Joes out of here early? Fucking let them go if you don't have anything to do. Like, don't keep them there until 1700 just for sake of keeping them there. Because, when I was a private, this is what no one cares, right? Thinking like that is why the Army's not meeting their retention goals anymore, okay? Be part of the solution, not the problem. If you don't need to keep people there, don't keep them there. Because when you deploy the unit or you're getting ready for NTC or the field or anything, you're going to need those soldiers to pull those 12, 14-hour days in preparation to go. And then once you're deployed or downrange, you're going to be working the brakes off these kids. So any chance you can get while you're here in garrison to let them relax, do it. And that goes for being a team leader too. Don't monopolize your soldiers' time. Like, don't make them show up on Saturdays and Sundays to do extra PT unless they're not passing PT tests. Although, per regulation, at least when I got out, if a soldier is on remedial PT, it has to be conducted during the duty day, not after. Be smart. Know your regs. It should go without saying, regardless of your gender, if your soldiers are the gender that you like, be that same or opposite, they're your soldiers, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend. You don't sleep with your soldiers, ever, at all, okay? Think of them more like a brother and sister or something like that. Like, that's not something you do, okay? Be present in their lives. Like, if they're getting promoted and you're on a day off, you damn well better be there to get them promoted or watch them be promoted. If they're getting an ETS award and you're on leave, you better be there. Check their room or their barracks room once a week. Check their on-post housing. This is where it gets weird. Their spouse can tell you, no, I don't want you here. But if your soldier answers the door, it's government furnished quarters. You have every right to be there. You're checking their quarters. Make sure their car isn't an absolute pit. Make sure they understand health, nutrition, they're working on school, things like this. Always push them to better themselves. I had some great team leaders in my time. Zach, he was pretty good. He got himself in trouble because he actually stuck up for what he believed to be right instead of just playing the shut up and do the job thing. So he taught me a lot. He had some combat experience. Who else? Who was my team leader after that? Briefly, Donna was my team leader. Donna was good in her own way. I learned some things that I otherwise wouldn't have learned about female soldiers, like the bun regulations. How to help adjust the female uniform without being a skis or a pervert or anything. Sometimes you gotta help. Being a bro doesn't mean just dude on dude, you know. Sometimes it's dude on not dude. I don't know. Anyway, Cynthia was okay. You had your moments if you're watching. I really didn't like you. You didn't like me, but we made it work. That's what matters. Jason was okay in his own way as well. He happened to know me at a time of great adversity, but he was always very patient and never lost sight of the fact that despite whatever mental crap was going on in my world that was playing on my psyche or on my conscience, I knew my job and I was good at it. So you have to be understanding, be equal parts counselor, mentor, friend, and hard-nosed asshole that's getting in their shit. Like, move faster, we need to go, or we're gonna die. kind of thing. Like, you need to be able to put boot to ass when you need to. So, anyways, I'm going to go down memory lane here and just end up rambling if I keep it up. So, see you guys later. Take care.